Good morning. In today's class, we will discuss about measurement of power. We will discuss about measurement of power. As we discussed earlier in the previous session, the measurement of power is generally done with the help of wattmeters. Measurement of power is generally done with the help of wattmeters. So, the construction of a wattmeter is quite similar to the construction of a electrodynamometer type instrument. That means, as we discussed in the previous class, the construction of a wattmeter is quite similar to the construction of electrodynamometer type instrument. That means, in the case of an electrodynamometer type instrument, we have considered two currents I1 and I2. In the similar way, in the case of wattmeter, we will consider two systems which is nothing but a fixed system and the other one is nothing but a movable system. And the other one is nothing but a movable system. So, in this case, in the case of a wattmeter, the fixed system is nothing but a current coil and the movable system is nothing but a pressure coil or voltage coil. Voltage coil. That means a wattmeter generally consists of two systems. One is nothing but the fixed system and the other one is nothing but the movable system, where the fixed system is generally measuring the current quantity and the pressure, and the movable system is generally measuring the voltage quantity of the system. So the construction of a simple wattmeter type instrument is shown like this. The construction of a simple wattmeter type instrument is shown like this. So this is nothing but a construction of a simple wattmeter type construction, where this is nothing but the current coil which is connected in series. The current coil is connected in series to the load, and this is nothing but your pressure coil which is connected in parallel with your load. This is nothing but your pressure coil which is connected in parallel with your load, and this is nothing but the input voltage, and this is nothing but the total input current. Now you can see clearly in the diagram, the current coil is connected in series. The current coil is connected in series in order to measure the load current. You can see here, it is nothing but a series connection with respect to load. That means the current coil measures the total current through the load, whereas the pressure coil is simply connected in parallel to the load. The pressure coil is simply connected in parallel to the load. That means the pressure coil is finally measuring the total voltage across the load. So in the case of a measurement of power, we require the total current through the load and we require the total voltage across the load, so that we can measure the power with the help of the formula W is equal to V into I in the case of DC measurements. But whereas in the case of AC measurements, we will simply consider the phase angle difference between voltage and current. So this is the simple schematic diagram of measurement of power with the help of a wattmeter. Now in the diagram you can see clearly that the current coil is simply shown like this, whereas the pressure coil is shown like this. That means there is a reason for showing the current coil like this and showing the pressure coil like this. So let us see how. I have mentioned here the current coil generally measures the current. The current coil generally measures the current. So in order to measure the current, the main criteria for this to be the resistance should be less. In order to measure the current, the resistance should be very less. Why? Since we know that resistance is having the property to oppose the flow of current. So in order to measure the net load current flowing through the current coil, the resistance of the current coil should be very less, so that the total current flowing through the current coil is nothing but the load current over here. So see here, in order to measure the current through the current coil, the resistance should be less. So what's the generalized formula for resistance? As we all know, the generalized formula for resistance is equal to rho L by A. The generalized formula for resistance is rho L by A, where rho is nothing but the resistivity, L is nothing but the length of the conductor, A is nothing but the area of the conductor. So in this condition, what I am saying, I want to measure the current over here. So in order to measure the current, my relation is resistance should be less. So see the conditions over it. In order to have less resistance, your length should be less. In order to have less resistance, the length should be less, and in order to have less resistance, the area should be more. That's the main reason resistance is proportional to L, proportional to 1 by A. That means in order to have less resistance, your length should be less and your area should be more. Why? Due to this condition. That is the main reason we are representing our current coil with less length and more area. That's the main reason your current coil is represented like this. That is, it is represented with less length and more area. That means length is less and the area of this conductor is more. And the next condition is nothing but your pressure coil. We have proved that the resistance current coil should have less length and more area. Similarly, we will discuss about the pressure coil. Why the pressure coil is shown in this matter. So shown in this design. So see, we are saying that the pressure coil measures the voltage. Pressure coil measures the voltage across the load. That means in order to measure the voltage across the load, what we should have? We should have more current flowing through this in order to measure the net voltage drop here. So in order to measure the more voltage over here, the resistance should be high. So the condition for R is equal to rho L by A. So in this condition, in order to measure the voltage, the resistance should be high. So you now have high resistance. What are the conditions here? The length should be more and the area should be less. As we discussed in the previous case for the current coil, we are discussing it for the pressure coil also. In order to have high resistance, the length should be high. In order to have high resistance, the area should be less. That's the main reason we will design the pressure coil with thin wire and more length. That means your length is more in this case and the area of the conductor is less, and the area of the conductor is very less. So this is the simple design of a wattmeter type instrument where the current coil is measuring the current and the pressure coil is measuring the voltage across the load. Now we will discuss the instantaneous torque equation of a wattmeter. So let us consider IC is the instantaneous current flowing through the current coil. IC is the instantaneous current through current coil, and IPC is the instantaneous current through pressure coil. Instantaneous current through pressure coil. That means we are considering the current through current coil is IC and the current through pressure coil is nothing but IPC. That means in the diagram, so this is nothing but a simple wattmeter type construction where the current through the current coil is IC and the current through the pressure coil is IPC. That means these are nothing but the instantaneous currents and these will be your RMS currents, and the voltage applied across it is V and the current flowing through it is I, where V is the RMS voltage and I is the RMS current, and this is nothing but your load and this is nothing but the external resistance RP. So here we can see that the net resistance of your pressure coil is purely resistive. That means it is a purely resistive network. Why? The resistance of the pressure coil is already discussed that the resistance of the pressure coil should be very high in order to measure the voltage, and I have connected external resistance RP. So obviously the overall characteristics of this pressure coil is purely resistive. When this is a purely resistive network, the quasi-angle difference between your voltage and current is 0. That means they are in phase with each other. So this condition we will use in the last step. Now we will discuss how we are getting the instantaneous torque equation for this type of instrument in order to measure the power. So I have considered IC is the instantaneous current through current coil and IPC is the instantaneous current through pressure coil. So as we have discussed in the previous session that the instantaneous torque equation of electrodynamometer type instrument is, as we have discussed in the last session, Ti is equal to I1 I2 dm by dt. So this is already discussed in the last class. The instantaneous torque equation of electrodynamometer type instrument is I1 I2 dm by dt. So as I have already said that the construction of electrodynamometer type instrument is quite similar to the construction of this wattmeter. So I will replace my currents I1 and I2 with the currents through current coil and currents through pressure coil. So this formula can be simply replaced as Ti is equal to IC IPC dm by d theta. That means that the instantaneous torque equation for this instrument is in generally given as IC IPC dm by d theta. So where IC is nothing but the current through current coil and IPC is nothing but the current through pressure coil. Now as we all know that the instantaneous value of current is given by the formula IC equal to root 2 IC sin omega t minus phi. So you can ask me why I am using sin omega t minus phi. So the reason for using sin omega t minus phi is this is nothing but a inductive network over in this case. So in this case of an inductor, it will always have a lagging phase difference. That is the main reason I am representing it is lagging by a angle of phi. And I have already said that the current through pressure coil is nothing but purely resistive. That means it will not have any phase angle difference between your current and voltage. So IPC will be generally equal to root 2 IPC sin omega t. That means it is not having any phase angle difference. So this is nothing but the current through current coil and current through pressure coil. Now I will substitute this equation in the instantaneous torque equation of this expression 1 and I will calculate the final power of this wattmeter in the case of AC measurements. Instantaneous torque equation of a dynamometer type formula is given by Ti is equal to IC IPC dm by d theta. Ti is equal to IC IPC dm by d theta, where IC is nothing but the current through current coil and IPC is nothing but the current through pressure coil as discussed now. Now as we all know that IC is equal to root 2 IC sin omega t, and similarly IPC is equal to root 2 IPC sin omega t, right? But there is a phase angle difference between the current through current coil, so it is nothing but root 2 IC sin omega t minus phi. That's it. This is nothing but the phase angle difference in current coil. As we have considered that the pressure coil is purely resistive, the phase angle difference between the pressure coil is 0. So this is nothing but root 2 IPC sin omega t, and the current through current coil is nothing but root 2 IC sin omega t minus phi. Now in order to calculate the net deflecting torque in a wattmeter, the formula for net deflecting torque Td is equal to 1 by T integral 0 to T IC IPC dm by d theta d omega t. That means we are calculating the net deflecting torque with the formula Td equal to 1 by T integral 0 to T Ti, where Ti value is nothing but IC IPC dm by d theta into d omega t. So this is nothing but your Ti value. Now substitute the values of IC and IPC in this equation in order to calculate the deflecting torque. So the value of deflecting torque TD will be equal to TD is equal to 1 by T integral 0 to T. What's the value of IC over here? So the value of IC is nothing but root 2 capital IC sin omega t minus phi. So we'll substitute here root 2 IC sin omega t minus phi. Similarly, what's the value of IPC? So the value of IPC is nothing but root 2 capital IPC into sin omega t. So it is nothing but root 2 IPC sin omega t d omega t. So this is nothing but the net deflecting torque. So when you solve this expression, you are getting it as 1 by t integral 0 to t. Root 2 into root 2 is nothing but 2. And you are having sin omega t minus phi into sin omega t into d omega t. And you are left out with dm by d theta. So I am simply keeping dm by d theta over here. Okay. Now it is in the form of 2 sin A sin B. It is in the form of 2 sin A sin B. So as we all know, 2 sin A sin B is equal to 2 sin A sin B is equal to cos A minus B minus cos A plus B. So this is the formula for 2 sin A sin B. So when you simplify this expression, you will get net deflecting torque TD is equal to 1 by T integral 0 to T. It is in the form of 2 sin A sin B. So when you solve it, what you are getting, you should substitute it by cos A minus B minus of cos A plus B, right? So it is nothing but cos of A minus B, cos of A minus B. So I am taking omega t as A and I am taking this as B. So cos of A minus B will be equal to omega t minus of omega t minus phi. So it will be nothing but cos phi, right? And then the similar way, what's the value of cos of A plus B? So cos of A plus B is nothing but cos of 2 omega t minus phi. Cos of A plus B is nothing but cos of 2 omega t minus phi into dm by d theta into d omega t. So this is nothing but the expression for net deflecting torque. So from this equation, the maximum value, we are left out with IC and IPC over here, right? IC and IPC is left out here. So we'll multiply with IC and IPC. So when you see this expression, it is in the form of the net deflecting torque TD is equal to IC IPC. I am simplifying this equation, so you get IC IPC dm by d theta into 1 by t integral 0 to t, 1 by t integral 0 to t cos phi minus cos of 2 omega t minus phi, right? So and what you will get when you solve this entire expression into d omega t. So when you solve this entire expression, you are getting the net deflecting torque or the maximum deflecting torque produced by the wattmeter is equal to is nothing but IC IPC dm by d theta into cos phi. The net deflecting torque produced by a wattmeter is equal to IC IPC dm by d theta into cos phi. Why I am neglecting this value is the maximum value of this entire function is nothing but IC into IPC dm by d theta into cos phi. So this is nothing but the maximum value of this function. Hence the net deflecting torque produced by this is equal to TD is equal to IC into IPC dm by d theta. So this is nothing but the maximum torque produced by a dynamometer type wattmeter, right? So this is nothing but the maximum torque produced by a dynamometer type wattmeter. So as we know that the deflecting torque TD equal to IC, IPC cos phi dm by d theta. And as we are going for a spring control mechanism, the controlling torque Tc equal to Kc into theta. So at equilibrium, at equilibrium, we know that the deflecting torque Td equal to the controlling torque Tc. So at equilibrium, the deflecting torque will be equal to your controlling torque Tc. Now you will find the relation between them. So IC, IPC cos phi dm by d theta is equal to Kc into theta. So as we have already discussed that the pressure coil is purely resistive. So the pressure coil is purely resistive. So what will be the formula for the current through pressure coil? So the current through pressure coil is nothing but IPC. So IPC is equal to voltage across your pressure coil by resistance across your pressure coil. IPC is nothing but the current through pressure coil, which is nothing but voltage across your pressure coil by resistance across your pressure coil. Right? So we'll substitute this over here. So IC into V by RP cos phi dm by d theta is equal to Kc into theta. So this is equal to theta is equal to, so Vi cos phi. So see here, Vi cos phi. So Vi cos phi is nothing but power. Vi cos phi is nothing but power. So V by Rp dm by d theta into 1 by Kc. Right? So this is all the constant value power. That means theta is equal to P into Kp. Theta is equal to P into Kp, where Kp is equal to 1 by Kc Rp dm by d theta. So from this relation you are getting theta is proportional to power P. From this relation you are getting theta is proportional to power P. That means a single phase wattmeter is measuring the power in such a way that the net deflection in the pointer is directly proportional to the power measured in a single phase wattmeter. So these are the relations for your deflecting torque, and this is the relation for your controlling torque. So at equilibrium, your deflecting torque is equal to your controlling torque. So I have equated it and I derived the relation for theta and power P, where power P is equal to Vi cos phi.